Hey guys, so as you know, my friends and I are doing Bharat movie night every couple of weeks, and we've got to see the Shershaah trailer. Now, they added another video which is the behind the scene. So I absolutely cannot wait. I love to see how a movie is getting made. So let's see the behind the scenes.
एक फौजी के रुतबे से बड़ा कोई और रुतबा नहीं होता।
For me, becoming Shershaah was like the young boy in me, his dream coming true.
I love that this is in English, so I can finally understand.
This was my first film and script where I'm playing a real life character.
Oh wow, okay.
I think I believe that Captain Vikram Batra's parents were very, very keen for Sid to play Captain Vikram Batra because of a certain sense of similarity. They kept looking at Sid and saying, "You just remind us so much of our son."
As an actor, my prep started the moment I met the family. I remember going to the house and in Palampur where Captain Vikram Batra stayed. And their first floor has it's like a museum of all Captain Vikram Batra's belongings and his pictures. That gave me a lot as an actor to pick up for the character as well.
This would be
It sounds so familiar to like what we have when like parents lost their daughters and sons, like in the army. They have this, I don't know, this shrine, this temple at their, usually at the,
It
at
was
their
just
room.
amazing just to connect with him.
The most interesting fact to get Siddharth and the other actors to train, we had somebody from the army who served with Captain Vikram Batra, who was a very close friend. And they got a first-hand information during the training period of how Captain Vikram Batra was and how he would behave, how he would talk.
He was a very, very extrovert guy. Flamboyant. Otherwise, lot of warmth he had. He used to tell me
It's interesting that he is like telling a story about his friend. This is not just like a famous TV character, it's actual, like a real person.
He had two different kind of personalities. One is this extremely charming, personal, lovable Punjabi boy, a typical yaro ka yaar jo hum kehte hain. But when it came to duty, he's someone, despite his comrades and colleagues telling him how dangerous it is, would just go for it.
Durga Mata ki Jai! Durga Mata ki Jai!
I think the maximum amount of time I've spent for prepping on any film so far has been Shershaah. There's a lot of physical prep that came in, there's a lot of mental prep that came in.
It's kind of funny that he is like learning how to stand and how to do like a very basic army training, like how to hold weapons and how to like actually how to stand with your hand behind your back.
I learned a lot about ethics within the armed forces, kind of formation that happens, how do they follow hierarchy, how disciplined they are.
The amount of hard work that he has put in. He was such a dedicated actor on set. I think he's given his blood and sweat, and I think that's what shows in the film.
So by the end of it, I remember really well, over the journey, he had transformed on a subconscious level.
Yeah, it changed you as a person.
When I saw Siddharth and met him, I think the hard work he's put in understanding the Vikram as a character is something which I really, acknowledge. And then, of course, I think the entire shooting which had happened at Kargil, which is almost 16,000 feet and doing all those exercises and trying to climb up those mountains by himself speaks volume about him. So I definitely give it to him for doing such a wonderful job.
I think the biggest obstacle that all of us face is fear. And Captain Vikram Batra broke that and said it with style and confidence by saying, "Ye dil mange more sir."
Wow. I mean, this is so, when you're acting, when there's a fake character that you just like made up, it's more, I mean, it's easier because you don't have to, you're not playing a real person who has real friends that after that come and talk about them. So I feel like this, all the hard work he did to become that person is amazing. And it's also, I mean, we need to remember that, like he said, like she said, this is not just like one person who served in the army. He had friends, he had family. So to go to the family and to be able to do this movie with respect to the families and to the people who actually knew that person, because we only think like the Kyrgyz war was like, oh, such a long time ago, but no, it was like a lot of us were alive when this thing was like a thing. And to go to the families and ask them to open their home and to open the wombs again, just to see again about that person, to learn more about him so he could be in the video, and to show him at the best, at the best light that there is, and to show the real person, not just this the USA, America, all this stuff. They love to do this superheroes, people who look normal but have this superpowers, and they all like, they can shoot lasers and stuff. But like, honestly, bottom line, I think our countries like already know that the real heroes are the people who don't have this super strength or superpower. I mean, just like the mentality of they are willing to sacrifice everything for the thing that they love, for the family, for the people, for the land. This is so much more as a superhero for me than the USA, Marvel, DC, all this other stuff, superheroes. That person, that all his life story, that again, they're not just showing him in the army, they're showing him with the family, with like the people he loved. They're showing a friend. It's crazy. Think about it. A friend who's just like serving the army with him and just like having fun with a person, and seeing that person in the worst time, because a war is such a terrible time. And the fact that he is able to go back and retell the story of what happened to a group of people he does not know, for them to be able to show other people that, again, that person, that one friend does not know about what really happens there. I think this is something so important, and especially that this is still fresh, especially now that people already like familiar with the name. This is not something that happened like 1,000,000 years ago, 100 years ago. It's just like, it's still fresh. There are still people that are alive that was in this battle. I mean, they were at this war. This is so important to talk about, and to see that this is not just like, we're making a movie, watch us, we have guns and fire and pew pew and stuff like this. No, they're actually coming and saying those were actual people. Look at us learning about those actual people and about what they are and who they were and what their message was, and to try to show this and not the war and fighting and stuff. Just like to show the real person. I mean, you can either butcher that person and destroy his name and his legacy, or you could just educate other people about what he's done and show to the other generation what he did for them. And honestly, I think this is beautiful that he took the time and the effort, not only learning about the army code and how you're supposed to stand and how you're supposed to look and how you all this stuff and how you're supposed to hold a weapon, which was pretty funny, but to actually enter to a family home and to see what they have after the person that they love is gone. It's, I don't know, it's it's heartwarming, but at the same time it's terrible because they have to again open so many memories that are, in the end, the memory is that this person is not there anymore, which is pretty difficult. Again, like I said in the reaction, in Israel we also have this. Every family who lost a family member due to, in the army, in terror attack, we have this. There is a small place in the home that is dedicated to them. Pictures, I don't know, stuff that friends brought. It just, and when someone is like coming and watching this thing, it's kind of feel, I don't know, it's feel, for one, you want other people to know about that person, but on the other side, when someone is like starting like to hold the picture, I'm like immediately like, don't touch. Like, this is, do not touch. Leave everything there, because I'm always so scared that that something will break and one of my memories with that person will be disappear just because someone that didn't knew him well and doesn't have the respect for them like I have, will, I don't know, I mean, even the small wrinkle on a picture, I'm just like, it's crazy. So to see them being willing to show it all, to show everything they have, and to tell, I mean, to say this is that person, I think it took a lot of power to do this. The story is about Shershaah, but it's way more than that. The story is about the Kyrgyz War, and the story is about the people that left, the people who survived, so they can share his story. And I don't know, I just feel like this is so much bigger than just a movie. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.